Like I've said multiple times, Overwatch is one of my favourite games of all time, and it also hosts some of my favourite characters of all time, and one of them is Moira. And for a game with such a strong cast of characters, for one to really stand out, like, I have a few. I love Reinhardt, I love Junkrat and Roadhog, I love Ana, I mean, I love most of them, but in the top 3, Moira is absolutely one of them. She's such a cool character, voiced to perfection by Genevieve O'Reilly, who has like the best female voice I can think of. So yeah, that's my little introduction. Hope you enjoyed the video.
Moira by your side.
This is Moira, and for those of you who don't know who Moira is, she is an Irish evil scientist, so to speak. Well, she's not really evil, she's just very unorthodox and controversial, and she is absolutely
brilliant.
So let's talk about how I made this figure. For starters, this isn't a costume you can find in the game. It's sort of a mishmash of her default skin and some artwork where she's wearing a lab coat, but when she's wearing this kind of normal looking lab coat, she's also wearing like a black dress shirt and a light blue tie. And the reason why I decided to combine these two looks is simply because I didn't know how to do the default look. In the game, she has this huge machine on the back that stores all that biotic energy she uses to heal and damage and whatnot, and she has 2 big colored tubes going like here under her arms and over her shoulders, and it was just a lot. She also has these sort of like skirt flaps. I don't really know the purpose of them, but I didn't know how to maintain all the articulation while having those on. Like, I thought of maybe if I could attach it to some sort of cloth, but I also figured that would look stupid, so in the end I opted for this combined look. Yeah, I can start off with how I made her. She's made from a Marvel Legends Hela, and the reason why is because, one, I saw this absolutely beautiful Photoshop of Kate Blanchett as Moira, and she looked pretty much spot on, and it just made a light bulb go off in my head, and I thought it would be perfect. So I resculpted the head. You can compare the heads here. It's pretty much, I mean, I would say it's unrecognizable. I mean, you can obviously see it now when I'm holding it next to, the heads next to each other, but I resculpted the cheeks, made the chin pointier, slightly altered the shape of the nose. I'm not really sure if you can see. And yeah, I sculpted the little metal plate she's got over her eye here, as well as these 2 little metal ornaments in her forehead. I also replaced her hair with the hair from a Cal Kestis figure from the Star Wars Black series, and then I resculpted that to have Moira's. Moira has a very peculiar hairdo in that she has this bit that goes up here, then there's one bit that juts out to the side like that, and then it's a bit wild going back here, but on this side it's supposed to be pretty clean. I don't really know why, but it sure is a look. Second most important thing, I guess, to talk about is the hands. So the hands gave me some issue because Moira in the game has these really elegant hands with these claw-like nails, and she's very expressive with how she animates and whatnot. So they're actually, I couldn't find any Marvel Legends figures with nails like these. But then I found out about this Castlevania Carmella figure who has these incredible claw-like nails, and they are pretty much perfect. So fortunately for me, I didn't even need to completely ruin this figure because she comes with 2 alternate hands, and okay, so both sets of hands are pretty much identical. They're just, you know, reversed. So I decided for the sort of grasping, really expressive hand to be the damaging one, and this more neutral hand to be the hand that heals. Like, I think this hand looks a lot more threatening, so it works out, and you know, this one's a bit more relaxed. And then I had to repaint them. I had to do all these like little lines she's got on both sides, and then this hand is just normal skin color, but she still has these fabulous nails. But yeah, you can open up the coat here, and she's actually wearing most of her default skin, which is also the Hela body that I sanded completely smooth, and then I sculpted over the entire thing. And it's not completely accurate. It's as accurate as I could make it, but like in the game, there's like a little core that goes on these sides here, but I didn't really know what to do with those. I sculpted the collar as well, and yeah, all these little details. Like the back is unfinished because, you know, she's gonna wear this coat regardless. But I also took great detail into these leg patterns she's got here. They were quite a nightmare to get right. And then the boots aren't as detailed as I would like them. These are just painted on details and not sculpted, but there was sort of like a last second decision. But, you know, they serve their purpose, I guess. I'm really happy with how the torso turned out, though. I think it turned out absolutely wonderful. There was a mishap, unfortunately, in when I went to prime the body in black. I tried Army Painter Primer for the first time, and it just made the entire figure extremely sticky, so I had to sand everything off pretty much, and it made me lose some detail in the sculpt work here, and the sculpt work here on the side, but hopefully I fix it. It's a little bit, I can feel like a little bit of texture. It's not as smooth as it used to be, but I salvaged most of it to a satisfactory degree, and in the end I'm still really happy with how she turned out. So I guess we can go more into it. I chose the Hela body also because, one, the Hela head is a little bit too big to fit in a normal body, and two, I wanted Moira to be quite tall, because in the game Moira is really tall. She's probably like 6'6" or something, or like slightly over 2 meters, and she's actually the same height as Zarya. And here's Zarya, and as you can see, she is pretty much the same height. And what else? I decided to add this. She has this little headpiece in the game. I decided to add it like last second. So it's it's just some headphones from a Star-Lord figure, and I painted them purple on the inside here, and they're just black all around, and I reshaped them. I don't know, it's just something I came up with last second. It looks good, it just like fills out the head a little bit more. So here she is with my customized Mercy figure, and yeah, I don't really know where I was going with this, but you know, you gotta add them together. They're the two opposites. Moira's head is obviously bigger, but you know, what can you do in the end? Here she is with Reaper. Moira is still a lot taller. This Reaper is actually a bit too short to fit in with a Hasbro, but it's either this one or just Blackwatch Reyes, which is when, like him when he was a normal human being. So yeah, I guess that's it. That's Moira. Again, you can check out the details. I tried to do like a little bit of shading here. Like you see, it's not one flat color, that's sort of darker around the edges of every plate, so to speak. It doesn't really come through though. I figure the coat is gonna like hide most of it, like it's gonna pull away the attention from it. But yeah, really happy with her.
You have served your purpose. Slowly they realize that failure is all that awaits them. I'll have to handle this myself. One hand gives, the other takes away. Our guardian angel